Reverend Steve, keeping it simple. We're going to be in 1 Kings 18. We're going to be verse 4 today. And we've been going through Elijah's exploits. And it's quite amazing. He cures the widow's son. He's done so much during this drought. And as we can see today, the church has done a lot during a drought in this nation. And as we see this nation coming to life again, and this is the part I wanted to get to. So we're in verse 1 talks about Elijah putting away the drought. Now, what happens through all the anger built up during this drought time, Jezebel, which we're going to be covering in this, Jezebel massacres the prophets. So think about that today, the dryness and then the moisture happening, it's coming back, and then persecution happens. Think about today in this country and where it's going. I see persecution on the horizon. I see it every day. I see it growing and growing. And as this nation coincides with the rest of the world and a one world government comes, and then one world currency, and they can turn it off and buy and sell, and persecution comes, and the man of sin is revealed. I see that all very, very right before our eyes. I grew up in the 80s, and none of that we could see. When I was in the church in the 80s, there was none of that was there. We all thought, Russia was Gog and Magog. We've seen all that parts, but all this other stuff about buying and selling and this and so many things and the control that's going on, there was not to be seen at that time. It was seen in communist countries, but not in the free West. Now it's throughout the world. As we read Revelations and Revelation 13, he'll have power over the whole earth. And you could see that today, that complete power could be done throughout the earth now. And the wickedness of many things in this nation also. So let's get into this. So we're going to be in 1 Kings 18, verse 4. For so it was, while Jezebel massacred the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah had taken 100 prophets and hid them. So think about that. So when all this is happening, the famine, no rain, all these things happen, Jezebel represents the government or the spirit upon the government. The government turns on the people and starts persecuting them. God, Obadiah, who was a man who feared the Lord, hid 100 prophets from her so they could not get her. That's what God's going to do to us in the church during these tribulation time. He's going to hide us from the persecution that's coming. God bless.